Hello everyone, welcome back to Maverick Mods. This is a completely irrelevant and yet totally relevant, just a short little segment of Maverick Mods to either showcase my welding skills or I make a complete and total fool out of myself. And when I say welding skills, you're about to find out where I have none. So let's take a quick look at what's going on here. So once in a while you break a tool. It happens. The other day we've got just a, what is this thing, a cutoff saw. And this here is the stop that holds the arm down. And that broke off. So the way I look at it, I can do one of two things. I can either try and figure out how to replace this entire apparatus here, which I'm betting either is really easy to replace or it's devilishly hard to replace. And there probably is nothing in between. Or I can try and weld this back on. And my theory is, if I can't weld it back on, no harm, no foul, because I'm going to have to replace it anyway. Now, I'm going to add a little caveat here, or add a little disclaimer. I have never, this is cast aluminum here, I have never welded aluminum ever in my life. I have a TIG welder that I have used on occasion to do regular steel with mixed results. I can do barely passable welds on steel, as long as the steel is relatively thick. If it's the thinner it gets, the more likely I am to turn said welded piece into Swiss cheese. And just so you know, here is basically the sum of what I know about welding, and especially TIG welding, is, and I don't have my whiteboard, so I'm gonna have to use just a box here. So you guys see me do MIG welding a lot. So you know what MIG welding stands for. MIG welding stands for anybody can weld. TIG welding stands for this is hard. Okay? Just so you know. Alright, so what I've got to do with this piece, and believe it or not, I learned how to TIG weld aluminum by watching YouTube videos. So near as I can tell, I need to clean these pieces up, get them nice and clean. This, since it's cast, is probably going to be really porous. I need to bevel the edges with a carbide burr, which I can do, but I've got threads in here, which kind of complicates matters a little bit. So I think what I'm going to try and do is keep this piece here intact, just put it back, bevel the edges along the cracks on the side, and give it a try. I have no earthly idea what grade of aluminum this is. I've got just an old spool of aluminum MIG wire, and I'll give you the specs on that, but I have no idea if that's the right wire or not. Again, I'm probably going to look like a complete fool when this is all done, but hey, what the heck, we're going to give it a try. So let me get this all set up, get this cleaned up, get that beveled, and get the welder fired up, and let's see what happens. I'm going to re-emphasize that I have no earthly idea what I'm doing here, but I took my carbide bit and I ground the bevel. Of course, I don't want to go all the way to the threads, and I'm hoping that that'll be enough to at least hold this thing together. I can't get into here either, and I did it kind of as in many areas as I could to try and get a kind of a groove in here so that I can get as much new metal in there if this actually works. So I've got everything that did that, then I cleaned everything up with acetone. I'm going to leave this little plug, or whatever this thing is called, in, both to act as a heat sink and to keep the threads from hopefully getting screwed up. So I've got that on there. I'm going to clamp this. Nope, camera's in the way. Stand by. Again, just so everybody knows, I've never done this before. I haven't got the foggiest idea what I'm doing. So I've got the welder set up. I did some online videos. Everybody there makes it look easy. So I kind of figure, what could possibly go wrong? So if you're about to, if you see a big explosion, you'll know something went wrong. And I'm not ruling out the, well, probably high likelihood of there being an explosion. So, well, here we go. So according to all the videos, what I'm supposed to do first is just use the torch to heat the area up and clean out all the impurities. Let's see if that even happens. I'm going to try turning the heat up a little bit. See what happens. Well, that was ugly. Heck, I'll keep going, see what happens. I have no idea. Oh, I melted that. That's not good. Okay. Well, there's definitely heat going through there. Probably too much. But, what the heck, let's keep going. I've got, looks like a little bit of a hole right there. See if I can fill that. I don't know if that's going to do better, worse, good, or bad, but what the heck. Well, the hole's still there, but there's a whole bunch of aluminum on there. All right, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the clamp off. I'm going to see if the bottom will weld up, and then we'll come back and do a final test on it. This is first attempt, I should say, and this is not a YouTube first where I tested it and then I'm filming it. This is actually a first attempt to see if anything I just did is good. I melted the little knobby thingy off here, which is not good. It's still a little hot to the touch, but it's kind of okay. I'm going to try and do this one or two-handed here. Well, two-handed and one elbow. So this thing is supposed to keep the big arm down. And so I take a little pressure off. I'm going to just pull this out. Okay. All right. So far, that mechanism still works. This goes up. Okay. That didn't break anything. That's good so far. Let's go back down. Push that back in. I think this can, yeah, this can go too far. I might have to get a new knob or something. But we'll just stick it right there for now. And it holds the arm. And I think we broke this from picking it up here, and that's not a whole lot of a bracket there to hold all of that weight, because this saw weighs probably about 35 pounds. So I'm gonna set the camera off to the side, pick this thing up. Hopefully, if it breaks it, then it breaks it, but I'm not gonna put that much stress on it because it's kind of doing what it's supposed to do now. And let's see what happens. All right, so I set it on the ground by grabbing this handle and this handle, so I have not tested this yet. And I'm just gonna put a little stress on here. Okay, I'm not tempting fate any farther. I'm going to call this a success for now. It may break tomorrow, but for now, I just did my very first aluminum weld. And frankly, it's not really something I should be proud of, but maybe it was successful. Time will tell. Well, thanks for indulging me in a little segue off to the side. I will have to say that, and this is the absolute honest truth. That's the first time I've ever done any welding with aluminum. Kind of interesting. I might have to try a little more of that. So anyway, again, thanks for indulging me. Appreciate everybody watching. We'll catch you back on the automotive side soon. Everybody, have a great day.